Hello there, you beautiful people, and welcome back to this video where we're going to continue building Travis the Ridiculous security system. So at the minute, we have a computer program that can ask a user for their name, strip off any white space, capitalize the name, and then check if that is in a list of known users. But at the minute, we kind of print out these very formal name recognized or name not recognized messages, right? And Travis isn't like that. Travis is very polite. So we want Travis to be able to say, hello, so-and-so, if their name is recognized. And for that, we're going to use string formatting. So as a micro challenge to you, I want you to go ahead and write some code that's going to print out the message, hello Alice, or hello Bob, or hello Emma, or whatever their name that they enter might be, as in this if statement here, so only if they are a known user. So pause the video now and print out to the screen a string that says hello, whatever their name is, using string formatting, and come back to see how you did. So how'd you get on? Was it alright? Well, this is the way that I'd have gone about it. I'd have deleted this ugly message here and typed print. Then inside here, I type hello, space, some blank, exclamation mark, then format inside that blank space their name. So the user's name is going to go in this blank space. So if they entered Alice, it would say hello Alice, or if it was Claire, hello Claire, or whatever it may be. So if you got that, or you managed to get the same functionality, then well done. You're honestly learning so much from this course, and I'm really proud of you now that you're applying these really complicated concepts. It's amazing. So now that we've replaced our ugly name recognized with a nice welcoming message, we want to ask the user whether they'd like to be removed from the database, because at the end of the day, Travis is pretty ridiculous. So let's create a variable called remove and ask them, using the input function, would you like to be removed from the system? Okay, and I'm actually going to put in y/n there so they can see that they've got to enter yes/no. Okay, so what that's going to do is the user is going to type in yes or no, right? Now, if we want to check whether they entered yes or a y, one way we could do it is this. We could have another if statement in here, and we could type if remove equals y, or remove equals capital Y, right? Because if they enter a lowercase y, this will be true, or if they enter an uppercase y, this will be true, then the whole condition will be true because we used an or statement, and then the code, whatever we put in here, is going to run. But that's kind of a bit ugly, right? Like before, I'm actually going to use the lower string method on here. So no matter what they enter, if they enter an uppercase y or a lowercase y, we're going to convert it to lowercase and save that in remove. So now all I have to do is just check if remove is lowercase, because we've already converted it to lowercase up here. We just have to check whether it's the lowercase y. So now inside of here, I'm going to want to remove the name from the list. Now there's a neat way to do this using the remove list method. Now list methods work exactly the same way as string methods, it's just they are for lists. So all we've got to do, if they want to be removed, we do known users dot remove name. It's as simple as that. That's how you remove someone from a list. So this is an excellent example of how Python makes something that could be incredibly complicated so simple and easy to read. This is going to remove the first occurrence of the name from the list. So bear in mind that we're going to remove the name. So say if there was Alice and Alice and Alice, if we just did remove Alice, it would only remove one of them. It would remove the first one that it found. So that's something you need to bear in mind. So this code is only going to work for us as long as the name occurs once. If it occurs more than once, you might need to use a loop to repeat the remove process as many times as necessary, but we'll save that discussion for another day. So let's just check this is working by printing out the list before and after the removal. So in here, I'm going to print the list, and down here, I'm going to print the list as well. Let me just get rid. Is there anything else I need to remove? Yeah, I just want to get rid of this bit up here where we print the length of the list. We don't need that. So let me just run this. It's going to say, hi, my name is Travis. What is your name? I'm going to say Alice. Hello, Alice. So our string formatting worked. Would you like to be removed from the system? Let's click yes, okay? So at the beginning, we've got Alice, Bob, Claire, and that's what it was at the beginning. Then we removed it and we printed out the list again, and you can see that Alice has disappeared. So that's fantastic. We've managed to remove Alice from the system as we wanted. So now sometimes, instead of deleting a specific value, let me just cancel the program here. Sometimes instead of deleting a specific value, you want to delete a specific index or a certain slice of indexes from a list. So for that, you'd use the del keyword. At the minute, we've searched for the value Alice and deleted Alice. Maybe we just want to delete index 1 or index 2 without really knowing what that value is. So for that, as I said, we need the del keyword. So if we create a list called L, and I create, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever. Let's say I want to delete the first index. For that, I'd use del L of 0. Okay, and that's just going to remove that from there. So L is going to be here. So I can't do L.remove 1 because I didn't know, hypothetically, that 1 was in the list. Okay, if I didn't know what the value was, I just wanted to get rid of the index, whatever was there, then I would use the del keyword. If I knew specifically what I wanted to delete, then I would use the remove keyword. Another reason to use del is because, do you remember when I said that the remove keyword only removes the first instance? So let's say if I had something like, let's call this list example, and I had A, B, C, A, and A, and B. Let's do that. Okay. If I do example.remove A, and I look at example again, it's only got rid of the first one, right? But A is still here. So let me recreate it. What if I wanted to get rid of this one? Well, I know that that is at index 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I would use del example 3. And that now, if I show example, has gotten rid of that A right there. So it gives you a bit of flexibility on how you want to remove things. So this is definitely a useful keyword you're going to want to keep in your back pocket. Oh, and by the way, yes, you can delete slices using the del keyword. So example at the minute is ABCB. So let's see if I wanted to get rid of just the first 2 elements. What I could do is del example 0 to 2. It's because 2 is here, we want to go up to there. That's going to cut from there backwards. And now if we look at example, you can see that we've only got CB left. So you can cut out slices as well. Okay, so we're nearly there. Let's just go back to see what we've done. We've currently got a list of known users. The computer is going to say hello, very politely, on good old Travis, and it's going to ask the user for their name, strip off any white space, and capitalize it so that we can compare it with everything else in our database. Now, if the name is in our list of known users, we're going to print hello, hello that name. So if their name was Bob, hello Bob, and then ask them if they'd like to be removed from the system. And if they enter yes, say they enter it in whatever case, it's going to be turned to lowercase, and that's going to be saved in remove. If remove is lowercase y, meaning that they entered yes, then we're going to basically remove we're going to remove that name from our list of known users. And I'm just going to get rid of this this printing because that was just for demonstration purposes. So we're nearly there. All we've got to do now is we have to see if their name isn't in the list of known users, right? So if they are an unknown person, we want to say that we don't know them and ask if they'd like to be added to the list. So we're going to save that for the next lecture because this one's also getting a bit long. And I'll see you in the next video to finish up our work with Travis.